Welcome everyone, thank you for clicking on this video and giving us a chance. I'm your first host, Anseki, and I will provide you some of this channel's content, including Pokemon related questions. Unfortunately, I cannot be with you in person right now as this video was a bit rushed due to various circumstances, but nonetheless, welcome to Monday, episode 1. Monday is going to be the day when we talk about Pokemon related things on this channel. I can't promise you that there's going to be a new video on Pokemon every Monday, but if we manage to put together some content, then you'll see it on a Monday. Today I'm going to talk about an idea how Generation 2 and maybe later generations could or should be added to Pokémon Go. This is important right now as I'm sure you've already heard, there's been a certain leak. Yes, I'm talking about the Starbucks one. Generation 2 could arrive as soon as December the 7th. I personally don't think this is legit, but just in case it was, we wanted to have this video out before that. In case you didn't hear about this Starbucks stuff, I've put a link in the description below. Also, just in case you were starting to get bored of my ranting, there's some gameplay footage you can watch. Feel free to criticize me or my game in the comment section below. But let's get to the chase. I'm sure all of you experienced that the spawn rate of Pokemon in general was increased quite some time ago, somewhere around Thanksgiving event. Many players speculate that this is to prepare the game for the introduction of Generation 2. So that if we cut the number of Pokemon spawned in half, one part being Generation 1 Pokemon and the others being Generation 2 ones, would still be okay. But this raises quite a few issues here. What about players who just started the game? Maybe they also would like to start by catching the first 151 first and not worry about later generations on their very first day. Not to mention Gen 1er society. But let's also think this through from the other side, the other way around. What if someone wants to have a Generation 2 starter when he or she begins the game? Shouldn't players be allowed to choose? I say they should. And the easiest way for this would be to introduce a new thing to the game, regions. Naturally, when you start the game, you could choose the region where you start from, which would influence the starter Pokemon available for you. With 2 generations in the game, this could either be Kanto or Johto. Once you are in the game, there should be an extra submenu enabling the players to travel between regions. Here's how it should work. If you click on the character, your character, the avatar you have, you and your buddy appear and you'll be able to access your personal menu complete with Customize, Buddy, and Journal submenus, as you can see on the screen right now. I suggest adding a 4th one here. If you click it, it would state the region where you currently are, which for players now is Kanto obviously, but you could change it to Johto and thus travel there immediately. This would change nothing on the map, but would change the Pokemon that could spawn for you in the game. The spawn points could remain the same, the spawn time could remain the same, the mechanisms could remain the same, everything could be the same except for the Pokemon. So here's an example. You walk around with one of your friends and you choose to travel to Johto while he or she remained in Kanto. Your friend encounters a Charmander, but for you in the same spot a Cyndaquil appears, since you're in Johto region. Wouldn't it be cool? This could be yet another reason to start a conversation with fellow players who you didn't know before, as you might be curious which region they are exploring at the given moment, and if it's not the same as yours, maybe they found something interesting that would make it worthwhile for you to travel to that region. Of course, there could be some sort of limitations for traveling itself, like you need to have a Pokemon that is able to transport you to the region you choose to travel to, and of course there could be limitations for traveling back as well. Like you have to spend at least 10 to 30 minutes in a specific region before traveling back, which could be either game time or real time, whatever. Or simply, they could also introduce that if you did catch the Pokemon spawned at the given spawn point, it would be no use traveling quickly back to the other region, as that same spawn will not appear for you, so you will not be able to catch 2 Pokemon at the same spawn point at the same time. So you'd have to choose either to catch Charmander, if you are in Kanto, or travel to Johto and capture Cyndaquil, as I mentioned in the example before. I know, this is not the best approach, as why wouldn't it be possible to encounter some Pokemon in the Johto region that are originally native to the Kanto region? It happens in the games, but hear me out. The reason I'm suggesting this is that 2 generations might be okay together, but as more would be introduced later on, it would become near impossible to catch those, 300 big Magikarps, or tiny Rattatas, or Pikachu for that matter, especially for new players. Unless, of course, you are very, very lucky and live in a place where all of these are frequent spawns. Well, I know Rattata are frequent spawns anywhere, pretty much. But I'm sure you know what I mean. I would like to point out that the example I gave about Charmander and Cyndaquil were totally random. I don't really think that all Pokemon should be paired up like that, especially since there are 151 in Generation 1 and only 100 in Generation 2. The spawns could be of the same type maybe, or they could have the same level of rarity. Rarity, is that a word? Whatever, let's just say that Pokemon with similar spawn rates from both generations should be spawned to the same location in both regions. And here's another interesting factor of adding regions to the game. The number of gyms would also instantly be multiplied by 2. Even if you take a gym for your team in Kanto region, the same gym could still be free in the Johto region. This sounds cool, but I can also see the possible flaws of this idea, which is why I suggested that a few minutes should pass between travels. One should not be able to take multiple gyms by standing in the same spot, obviously. This pretty much sums up the idea. Would you like it if Niantic decided to do it like this, or do you think this idea is stupid? Make sure to share your views on this idea in the comment section. Alright, this ends the first episode of Monday. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and leave a comment should you have any questions, or even if you just want to say hi to us. If you'd like to see more videos from us, please subscribe. The support would be appreciated. A lot. Take care and see you next time.